What's up, everybody? This is Bryson Fowler on Bosstalks on the Rooftop. Today we have aviation. We're at GoAviation Hangar, right? This is our aviation series. So welcome into the private jet life. And I have none other than the wonderful, beautiful Miss Briana Franklin.
Hi.
How you doing?
Hello, Bryson.
So what's going on, lady?
Oh, nothing. Enjoying a beautiful day at the hangar. It's very nice here. I definitely love the private plane life.
You like that?
I do.
You like that, usually we're on the rooftop, but our friends at Good Old Aviation said, hey, you should come down to the hangar, check it out. And we're here. We love it. We got pool in the background while we're waiting on our flight, right?
Okay, yeah.
So we're going to cheers. And look at the little things
I
that propellers.
know. Ready.
It's cold-blooded.
I mean, we are getting ready to take off. We'll take it. Excellent choice. I don't know what he made me, but we'll take it.
Not bad, not bad. So, do you smoke? Do you smoke cigars?
I do, but I'm good, thank you.
Okay. Thank you, thank you. She's so prim and proper. Proper.
That's the pageantry in me. It pays off.
Pageantry.
Yeah.
I'm glad you started off with that. So, were you like Cabbage Patch Kid? Were you like...
Oh, he got jokes, y'all.
were you like, this little teen queen? I don't know that world. So how'd you get into Miss plus size model, Miss America?
Miss America. He gave me every title but the one I've held, okay?
So talk to me about it, because we see you in all elegance, Miss Queen.
Thank
So
you.
tell us about your reign.
Yeah, absolutely. So pageantry actually started for me from teen bullying, believe it or not. So I was actually bullied all of high school, all of middle school, and then I have a phenomenal cousin, the Andrea Nicole Sledge. She's actually the owner of the All World Beauties pageant system. She actually kind of gave me a little spike along with Mama Nanette Watts. God rest her soul, the amazing Queen Slayer herself. But I started, of course, I would say it was my senior year of high school. I did my very first pageant. At the time, I would say about 250 to 300 pounds coming out of high school. So definitely a plus size model queen for real at that time.
Right.
However, didn't have the elegance and grace and poise about myself at that time because I was very shy, very timid. But walking into pageantry truly gave me a new life, I have to say. Anyone who has the opportunity to compete, I would definitely say it is truly life-changing. The sisterhood is phenomenal and definitely one that would be life-changing. You said my title currently, I actually hold 3 titles right now. So
No, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Like you walking
Went
around
too fast?
cause come on, hold on. So you currently have 3 titles.
Yes.
How do you?
Explain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you got one title, the champ is here, and then you go right over here. I'm over here. The champ is here, and then so we got to call you champ 3 times.
But every single one
Queen
of them
3.
are earned, So with pageantry, you have the opportunity after you have successfully reigned to potentially become a lifetime queen. So after you've held your title, you've done all your service, you continue to go back and of course serve the system, you then get to become a lifetime queen if they deem you one. So I have actually been the lifetime queen of 3 systems. So my most recent and one that I definitely cherish will be Miss US Plus World Dova #1.
Wow.
So this is definitely my baby, hands down, for sure.
Right.
Yes. Excellent system, 100%, 10 out of 10, as they say. But yes, definitely this one, and then amongst the ones that I hold for the All World Beauty system as well. So got some good ones.
That's amazing. I love that.
Thank you.
So in your journey, because it was because you were bullied.
Yes.
And was it more so you wanted to show that you are beautiful within who you are, and you wanted to show in find your lane, so to speak?
Gotcha. That's fair. I didn't really know what that lane was at first,
Okay.
right? So, pageantry kind of did teach me first inner beauty, believe it or not. Like you first have to kind of gain. Bryson, pause for the calls. It's on
Yo.
your lapel.
Oh, shit.
Yes. No, on your arm.
Woo! all you hear is
You
buzzing.
paused that.
I didn't know what the hell it was. I heard it was big and landed on me. Like, what the hell?
Listen.
What the helly?
And I was over here trying to refrain because I was like, it's getting too close for comfort.
Nah, it got me.
You said it got you?
It got me off. It got me flexing on camera, boy. I tell you.
I hope you edit that all the way out.
I mean, why not? Because, I mean, we out in the elements. It is.
Wait, what?
It is what it is.
Because I'm over here like, it's on your lapel. And I'm over here super calm.
I'm like, I hope, did it move? Did it leak? It's on your lapel. Man, yo, back at it. So, only me, man.
Woo!
It's always me with the bullshit.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
See, it's never my bullshit, but it's always some bullshit. And I just gotta roll with the shit. God damn.
That was funny. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Oh, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Fuck, what was we talking about?
Before or after you got attacked by the bug? Because you know I don't do bugs, okay?
Man.
I'm not built for nature.
I'm due for it when I'm not on camera. I'm like, okay, I hear it. Don't move, and then it didn't want to land on me. Why? Why?
It wanted to be a part of the scene. It was
Man.
essential.
Get your ass out of here. So, first, inner beauty. Right? Okay. So let's carry on from there. So
Gotcha.
the pageant really teaches you about more so inner beauty,
Absolutely.
and then it goes into what?
So I would say from inner beauty to then proper elegance, just to how you carry yourself, whether I think a lot of women assume that undergarments are not needed all the time. That's definitely a very big one. Between undergarment, shapewear, they kind of sometimes leave those lagging, right?
Right.
Which, you know, we used to say you got loose and goose, you don't want to walk around like that, right? You want to carry yourself as a lady at all times. Never know who you're going to meet, whether you're going to the grocery store, to the gas station, or actually out. So definitely want to make sure you're prepared at all times.
Right. And see, with
Got
that,
other stuff going on.
there's a lot going on. But with that, right? I'm probably gonna get slaughtered online for saying this, but I can't stand
Okay.
seeing women go outside in their bonnets. Like I can't. It bothers my
The
soul.
devil is a lie.
Like, hey, put on a hat, put on a beanie.
Yeah.
Like that bonnet, like, you know, I want that bonnet like when you're trying to go to bed, you at the house.
Right.
Ain't nobody gonna see you. Like, don't be rocking the bonnets.
Yeah.
And I can say it because I got long hair. I got long hair.
It's not a reason for you to say it, but okay.
But look, do I wear a bonnet? No. But I do have like protective hair wear
Gotcha.
that I wear only in the house.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't even rock, like when I had a fade and I was getting my waves or trying to get my waves, I didn't wear my do-rag outside. So it was probably why I never got my waves to really come, you know, title. I had ripples.
Ripples. You just didn't use enough wave cream. It's okay. That's what we're going to say.
I'm over here listening to my mom. We got Cherokee in our blood. I'm like, all right, man. That Cherokee ain't Cherokee.
You and everyone else, huh?
Yeah, man.
I mean, my personal thoughts on bonnets out in public is an absolute no-no. So even during pageantry, when we would have, during the pageant week, you have different rehearsals, things like that. That is a huge no-no, right? So again, we're walking around these 5-star hotels or different venues. And again, you're not only a representation of yourself, but of the pageant brand as well.
Right.
So you want to make sure, again, that you're carrying yourself as such all the time. So for me, I 100% with, what is it, Monique, when she said, don't come outside with that bonnet on?
Right.
Don't come outside with that bonnet on.
Right.
It takes a hot second to brush it back into a ponytail, or, you know, take a moment to just get yourself together before leaving. That's just, no. That's one I can't go with either.
Right.
So I'm okay with that.
You know, I'm like, I know we have those days where we're not all the way put together, but like,
Right.
you know, if you're going to go outside, put it together at least some way.
Some kind of way.
Some kind of way, you know, go to the grocery store, come back home.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. Like, but
Listen, put a cute little bling hat on, a little hoodie or sweatshirt, and some leggings, tennis shoes. Just, again, all in making sure that you're presentable when you leave that house.
But see, the other part to it is also, if you're going out trying not to draw attention to yourself,
Right.
that bonnet is big, so you're drawing more attention to yourself when you're trying to be incognito. So I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah.
They think because it's brown or black that no one's paying attention.
Man.
But then they also pair the bonnet with the house slippers and they moo-moos.
Come on now.
I mean, I get you were tired and you may have wanted to roll out of bed or run and grab the kids something. No, ma'am.
Sweats and a hoodie.
Yeah, just have a little bit more self-respect. You know, we walk around and there's already so much to speak to the Black woman and her stigma around us already.
Right.
Why give them any other tools or resources to call us anything that we're not?
Right.
And like, you already want to mimic it, but you don't want to mimic that half of us.
Right.
So
Right.
just don't give them any other fuel to light up their fire.
Right. And, you know, trying to debunk this whole image that America or corporate America would like to portray us, because, you know, they want to portray us in a certain ilk versus then lift us and elevate us
Right.
to our actual true status.
Bryson, you're going to have to get our friend
Oh,
before he flies up on you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's what happens when you're at the hangar, y'all. It's beautiful out here, though, but the bugs want to join us.
bugs around, all around. I got attacked. But anyway, so when you're doing your visits, your appearances, what is that energy like? Is it how's
Gotcha.
it well received?
So very humbling, because the one thing that I would take away that Mama Nanette left me with and any of her queens with is never walk in a place expecting to be served. Right? As we're here to really be servants. So my platform within pageantry, this entire pretty much time that I've competed, I live by the motto, crown to serve, crown to save, empower, restore, value, and enlighten. And that's literally just what a queen is there to do, is to be a servant 24/7, making sure that, hey, when we go to attend these pageants, maybe we're just going as a guest originally, but we don't know if we're needed on the panel for interview or to be a judge or even to stand at the door and help sell tickets. You know, whatever capacity we're needed in, that's really what that looks like.
Right.
You know, I personally don't always go to appearances with the crown and sash. You know, like when I go to volunteer, that's not important to me.
Right.
That makes sense. I'm really there to do the work that I came for.
Right.
You know, the crown and the sash, if you take that all away, I should be a queen without it. So that's the biggest principle for me when it comes to doing any form of appearance or any type of servant leadership.
Right. That's amazing. So you're a servant leader. So I'm hearing a little bit of churchiness. Are you a church girl? Are you a PK?
I am. How did you know? I am a PK. Absolutely.
Now, so what's that life like? You know, you're going in being a pageant, and then you're like a debutante, and
Oh, goodness.
you're a PK. So now you're extra royalty.
Y'all don't listen to
within
him.
the Christian realm, and so you know,
Extra royalty. We were all born as kings and queens.
Yeah, but you know, there's a certain elegance, there's a certain aura that, and a certain type of pressure that comes along with being
Absolutely.
a PK. So, what has that been like with your upbringing, and then now you're in the public, like you're a public figure, like I really shouldn't even have access to you at all. But
Clenching my pearls if I had some on.
talk to me.
Listen, I will take the humble flex if that's what we're going to call it. But, well, of course, I've been a PK all my life. My father is an amazing minister, and my mother is definitely a person filled with the word. Definitely embedded in me, right? From parents to grandparents, just a long lineage of those who love the Lord, and that is something that I have to live my life by. There is no way around it, without it. But I would say some of the bigger challenges are, you know, as a child, understanding the balance that your parents have to create between giving church the dedication and time that it needs, but then also not forgetting about you as their child.
Right.
So I think that's definitely a really big one. And, you know, I do think it can be a challenge sometimes, because as parents, you're like, I need to give God all the glory, and the church pushes all of this on you, but not remembering, hey, I have a family at home too.
Right.
So anyone who does accept God's calling, which is a phenomenal thing, but I would leave that with, don't leave your children behind.
Right.
You know, and I think at some points there were their moments, you know, but as a child also graciously voicing to my parents, maybe needing them a little bit more here or there. Especially with my father being the youth pastor, everyone wanted him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it was every child that was troublesome, or every child that wasn't, that wanted them to go to this basketball game and this football game. I'm like, but hi, Dad, I'm over here on varsity drill team, or, you know, doing something, and kind of wanting that time and attention. But that's kind of where he was needed a little more. So having to kind of understand that God is going to still be with me and protect me, as my father, of course, will as well. But, you know, kind of learning him for myself.
Right.
I definitely would say that's a big portion. As I've gotten older, it's definitely a little different. I think that they have, oftentimes in the African American churches, there's a lot of stigmatisms that we need to be careful of, because it can be very judgmental. Because maybe I choose not to wear pantyhose, or, you know, in their eyes, maybe my skirt's too short, or, you know, just something very simple that will keep people out, right?
Right.
And our goal is to bring people in, because the Lord definitely says, come as you are. Granted, we understand you may not have all the great options in the world to come into the church house, but we need to be more accepting of them. And I think that's why the younger generation, or this Gen X, or, you know, the generation we're currently in, may not want to go as much, right?
Right.
Because of things of that nature, and not being accepted. So I would definitely have to say that's a really big one in my earlier years, or latter years now. The other component that I would say is that going in as a PK, when I go back to my home church, this actually happened to me a few weeks ago. I hadn't been in years, and I literally came in to enjoy church, sat kind of in the back, didn't really draw much attention to me intentionally, you know. I actually think I had just maybe a black and white herringbone, you know, outfit on, and just kind of sat in the back of the church again, mind my business, enjoyed the service. And literally in the middle of the pastor speaking, a lady walked up to me and she taps me and she's like, aren't you such and such's daughter? Like, why in this moment, why I'm trying to give my word, is it so important that you figure out who I am, because you know who I am, you know, you have some type of recollection of who I could be.
Right.
Where I think that's kind of the hard part of being a PK kid. Like, everyone knows, if they don't know you directly, they know your father or your parent, and they're like, well, how's your sister doing? How's your dad? And it's not always a conversation I want to have, or, oh, you're not married yet? And I'm like, can the Lord send me my husband first? You know, or you don't have kids? No, none of that.
None of that.
I rather, you know, those types of things not be so front facing, especially being a PK. But yeah, for sure. Those would definitely be the top ones.
See, reasons of being a PK, life and trials of being a PK.
Yeah. not fun. Okay.
But you know, it's also the protection.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's also not to be, you know, negated that the protection is provided because
yeah.
of who you are, who your daddy is, the lineage that's provided. And it's also a testament to like the man that your father is.
Absolutely.
So I commend him on everything that he's done, especially raising a beautiful daughter.
Thank
Is
you.
fully aware of herself and is a true go-getter. So
That.
you do a little bit of wealth management as well,
Yes.
because I can't imagine you being this queen and not being able to understand finances in this world that we're in.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what type of licensing, type of journey what even got you into that?
Gotcha.
To that expert?
So I actually stumbled upon wealth management. So originally, I had been at a separate company for about 7+ years. They did a tremendous layoff, actually one of the first ones in the history of the company.
Oh, wow.
So when that happened, you know, I kind of had a time of prayer, definitely asking God for some guidance and direction, you know, as a part of that protection. So that really, I was actually sitting out at a restaurant having my dinner, food, etc. in the moment, and it was actually two gentlemen who kind of approached me and was like, hey, they started a conversation about something totally separate. It was actually about my shoes. I love sneakers, believe it or not. It just is what it is.
Right.
But that's actually what started the conversation. And then one thing led to another. They start telling me kind of about what they do. And it just kind of stemmed from there. So they actually introduced me to the company. And then from that point, I was like, well, I never really dabbled in it, you know, on a professional level.
Right.
You know, me and my brothers always kind of played around, did our own little trading. You know, everyone uses Robinhood or, you know, all those little external trading apps. But then it was kind of like, I want to learn a little more. You know, you really start to get into, at this point, how are we building trust? How are we leaving inheritance truly for our children and our families? And that's kind of what really piqued my interest on a whole nother level. So from there, there are several licenses depending on, you know, where you want to go in the wealth management area. Just kind of starting at the basis. You need your SIE, which is your standard securities exam license. Then depending on the company you work for, your Series 6, 63, 7, 27, it can go on and on and on.
So is that like what Will Smith did in The Pursuit of Happiness?
You know, I don't even remember all the details from that movie. I just remember the kid being sad. So
It was a good movie.
I'm not even gonna lie. It made me cry. I honestly don't remember. I'm sorry. All I remember is crying terribly. But you know, I definitely would say like things like The Wolf on Wall Street or The Black Wall Street, those types of things are, yeah. Believe it or not, some of those things are really true.
Yeah.
You know, you really got to be careful. But I will say, someone who's really striving to get into wealth, to understand wealth, even if you don't want to go into the securities industry, take a stab at the SIE. Do some research because it really will give you an exposure for yourself and your family that otherwise you may not know that you needed or needed to have.
Right.
Also, any kids who are students who are getting fresh out of college or even getting ready to go here in Dallas, the Dallas Metroplex UTD offers a phenomenal SIE program.
Oh, wow.
So you can get it right off the back. SMU has a financial planner certificate that you can get too. So there's definitely some great resources there. But yeah, definitely one I would say, just depending on where you want to go. In the industry, there's lots of different nuances that you can fall under.
Right.
You just got to figure out what's the best one for you.
Right. So when you started getting your series licenses and your SIE license, like what made you go like all the way with it? Like what made you just like, yo, I'm doing this?
Okay, y'all. If my mom ever watches this video, if my siblings ever watch this video, if my father ever watches this video, and my best friend and her mom, I have to give all the glory first and foremost to God, period. Like, period. But those were some of the hardest like full of anxiety, stress. I mean, tears on tears on tears. Because every single one of my licensing exams, except for 2 of them, I had to take twice.
Oh, wow.
So
Those things are long.
within, very long, very lengthy, and then it's a lot, you know, from proper suitability of, you know, how a person, one, you should be evaluating the client based off of their lifestyle, their years of income, how much do they want to receive at retirement. There's so many different components that you have to literally be able to say, okay, out of these 4 options, what is most appropriate for a person who's, I don't know, let's say age 50, they've been a teacher all their life, they've worked there till the bones, and they don't have kids. But they want to be on the beach in Jamaica and have $20,000 every month of income. You know, like having to really fine tune what would really work best for their future lifestyle and their current lifestyle is really essential. But those tests, I would say, you got to have another level of motivation and determination.
Yeah.
Because it is not for the weak.
Right.
Not by far, especially when you get on to your, the SIE is, I'm not going to say it's easy, just a breeze. When you get into your 6, your 67, your 6, your 63, and then you get on to your 7 and the 27, yeah, it gets a whole nother ball game. Yeah, now we're talking brokerage licenses and all kind of other things, and you're just like, oh, I got to really watch the market. I have to really be cognizant of the things that I'm doing when I'm, of course, recommending and providing that advice to clients. They're leaning on you as their personal advisor and trusting the advice that you're giving them with this money that may be the only money they have for their life savings, for their retirement, for the inheritance of their kids. So, you know, going through those security licenses really shift your mindset. When you start and you kind of get the fuel to your fire, you're like, dang, okay, I want to know more. So you keep digging and gaining knowledge, and that's really what keeps me motivated, on top of course, the prayers. And not having a job at the time either, okay? You know, you needed a source of income.
Right.
I like what I like. Have a lifestyle to uphold too, but those are definitely some of the top tier things for sure.
Right. See, and what I love about it is that it's royalty, and you understand how to fund the kingdom.
Absolutely.
Right. And so what a lot of people we lack, especially in our community, we lack understanding the vehicles and how to use them, or we don't know about the vehicles.
That's very true.
And where to start. So, you know, back in the day, we just got money in our mattress. Right? Or what happens if the house catch on fire?
Right.
Because if we got money in our mattress, 9 times out of 10, we don't have the proper insurance on our homes, right?
Correct.
So now it's like, okay, this is why I really wanted to talk to you about wealth management, because it helps shine a light on this is why it's important. Right. Right. And then just you going through the full spectrum of understanding and being a champion in that lane. Yeah. I wanted to commend you on that.
Thank you.
And so also, it's Boss Talks on the Rooftop, and this is where we go to expose your rooftop moments. Yeah. So I'm here for this. So okay. I need to know more about what all you have going.
Oh goodness. Well, so of course I have my nonprofit, which is the Crown to Serve. So that's definitely my baby. But secondarily to that, God of course gifted me with my personal event company, which is the Royal Couture Empire. Wow. So of course, royalty. Hey. Yep. See. Something that was definitely going to appeal to, as we like to say, if you want to use the simplest term, old money and new money, right? Right. Definitely a sense of very regal. I do prefer very luxe events. It's just something I like. Avant-garde is hands down the best way to look as well during decor. Simple but elegant as well. Definitely doesn't miss the mark either. I'm like, Bryson, I don't even like to talk about myself.
I mean, but still, you're telling me. You're talking to me.
That's fair.
Right? So that's very arrogant. Like, you're talking to me, though. Is it? Or is it like I just downplayed myself? I think I took a shot at myself.
Clock it. It is. It is.
I think I took a shot at myself inadvertently.
He's humbly bragging. It's okay.
But For real. So avant-garde, I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Yeah, so help me understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, so avant-garde is a style, right? If you think of very elaborate decor, that's basically a word for avant-garde, or
Okay.
very over-the-top artwork even. It can be down to your choice of hairstyle. There's avant-garde fashion shows and runway looks. Like those are typically the ones that you're gonna see at like New York Fashion Week that are very over the top. And you're like, oh my God, I would never wear that on the street.
Right.
But it definitely caught your eye.
Right.
That's the goal of an
Okay.
avant-garde look overall, right?
Okay.
And then you have to think of, when I say more so towards the luxe side of things, it's pretty much what you're seeing all over Instagram, you know, all over TikTok, just more so the standard upscale events.
Right. And
Yeah.
see, that's also why I wanted you on the show, because it's Kingpin Luxury.
Yes,
And
it is.
with KP Lux, like I gotta have luxury
Yeah,
around
absolutely.
me to call myself a luxury brand, right?
Right.
So this is why it's important to connect with you. How do we connect with you?
Oh, goodness. So I am normally not one of these people. He just wants to put me on the spot. So I do have Instagram, the Royal underscore Couture underscore Empire. That's perfectly fine. It is open and ready for you to view. Also, business number can be reached at any time. If you just leave a voicemail, I will definitely return your call or text. 469-939-7283. And then always, of course, I have a QR code on my back, but we don't want to turn around and scan you that. That's okay. But either one of those methods are perfectly fine. I'm sure Bryson will tag me.
Of course.
You can always
Goes
click
without
on the
saying.
link. Always, of course, accepting. Please forgive me in advance. I am not the best poster, but if there's something that you don't see that you have questions about, always ask. From 360 booths to throne chairs. There's a plethora of resources at my fingertips, and I would be happy and honored to create your vision for sure.
Awesome, awesome. So, what are your favorite colors
My favorite colors
for an event?
for an event.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I was
be
like, huh, my
what's
favorite
your-
color?
What's your favorite color? What do you like to do? Like, no, like honestly,
Ooh.
what's your favorite colors that you like to curate an event with?
Oh my gosh, that's so hard because I
Wanna
do
make
so
you think a
much
little
from
bit.
like birthday parties to weddings. Okay, I'm gonna have to give you two answers. Okay, so birthday parties, I'm not gonna lie, that signature black and gold, hence the outfit, it is just something about the look. It's very classic, it's very chic, and it's timeless.
Right.
You know, at all ages, it
Right.
is literally a timeless look. And
Right.
then when it comes to birthday parties, I would have to say, ooh, women's, I love the pinks and the whites. My favorite color is pink. That's probably why too. But the
Girly.
shades of pinks, whites, and that rose gold,
Oh yeah. Nice.
definitely a nice touch. Men wise, definitely they've been eating up the black and gold. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Because I mean, those are the colors that represent Kingpin Luxury, right? Kingpin Luxury accessories,
Yeah.
Kingpin Luxury KP Lux, the new luxury brand that we're launching.
Yes.
Even with the Queenpin Luxury, has a rose gold cigar accessories that we're launching. So when you say rose gold, that falls right in line to
Yeah.
exactly what we are. Now, I'm happy that you said it because it means that I'm right on track with where
right
where
on
I
the
want
money.
the brand to be, you know? So
Right.
coming from a person that actually is doing luxury events, I'd like to think that I'm on par. So
Well, I think
I'm in
so
good
as
company.
well.
Yeah. So guys, go pick up your luxury accessories at kingpinluxury.com. Check out Bosstalks on the Rooftop on YouTube. Check out our Instagram pages at Kingpin Luxury Cigar Access. And we already said how we can find you.
Yes.
Any questions for me? I'm gonna turn around and let you ask me like 2 questions.
2 questions.
Two.
Okay. Why did you start Bosstalks on the Rooftop?
Bosstalks on the Rooftop was actually a way for me to sit in fellowship with other entrepreneurs and expose their rooftop moments. because this is how I learn. This is my camaraderie. This is my time to really get to know and network with other people that have things going.
Gotcha.
So the information you have is pertinent for someone else that's thinking about going into the stock markets or going into wealth management. They may learn something that I don't know, and I'm learning something that I didn't know.
That's fair.
So it's just another way for me to do what I love to do: smoke a cigar, sip my whiskey, and fellowship with other like-minded individuals. Because when I tell people that I'm a roofer, I always get to look like, "You're a black roofer?" It was like, well, you know,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's normal for me because I grew up watching my uncle do it for over 30 years.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, yeah,
Black man roofing is in common.
Yeah, we're out here. So, you know, just to help expose that to even anybody that may think about roofing or,
Right.
you know, need the exposure into different lanes that they're trying to make way for themselves.
Right.
So hopefully I'm able to inspire and be impactful in that way with this platform.
Absolutely. And I definitely think you most definitely will. Hands down, this is probably one of the best experiences to really tap into other entrepreneurs. For sure. I've got a chance to watch some of the videos prior.
Really?
Yeah, it was definitely very intriguing to see how many other young entrepreneurs are really out there living their dreams versus taking them to the grave with them. I was actually watching a 10X video earlier, and they said the billion-dollar industry right now is the graveyard.
Yeah.
Because they took everything that they did not accomplish and buried it with them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's powerful. So
For sure.
this is my way of not taking it to the grave with me.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I love that.
So, guys, connect with Miss Briana Franklin and like, subscribe, share the channel.
Yes.
And remember, storms don't last, but your home should. Peace.
True.
2 fingers.